You must obey, otherwise you'll be punished. English education was a cruel system of trying to contain a child in a room and beaten for 12 years. Schooling system was very, very cruel. They may be brown of skin, but they must think like us. Their values must be what ours are. Even a large part of British Army, both in World War I and World War II, was Indian soldiers.
Yogeshwaraya Mahadevaya Trayambhakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Nilakantaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadhashivaya Sarveshwaraya Sadhashivaya Sarveshwaraya Sadhashivaya Mahadevaya Namaha Mahadevaya Namaha Mahadevaya Namaha.
India's education for millennia was conducted in a certain way, where education was designed to integrate you into life process, without life process overwhelming you, that everybody had freedom to choose. Probably if you look back 1,000 or 1,500 years ago, the only culture on the planet where nearly 90 to 95% of the women were literate is India. Nowhere else this happened that long ago. Education is very, very recent for women in the rest of the world. I'm telling you, all ladies, recently educated. But education was part of both male and female populations in India for a very long time, which changed in the last 600 to 800 years because of aberrations that happened to that culture. And about 150, 200 years ago, a more organized aberration came, where the English tried to educate Indians the way they want. Very clearly they defined it, they had no ambiguity about what they wanted. They said they may be brown of skin, but they must think like us. Their values must be what ours are. Like this they went on. Similar things have happened in America for the Native Americans. The English education was a cruel system of trying to contain a child in a room and beaten for 12 years with some rubbish that doesn't mean anything to him. I escaped. So this happened in India in a much larger scale and organization than the way it happened here. So when this happened, what was their intent of educating the Indian populace? The only thing is they found Indians were very good with mathematics, languages, because everybody spoke 4, 5 languages, they could pick up any language easily, and they're very good without using even their fingers, without using paper. Even today it is true, I think the present generation is completely losing it because of the gadgets. Otherwise, when we are growing up, even today, we can count things, multiply things, divide things in our mind without using any other instrument. So they found this very valuable, they thought these guys will make good clerks and accountants for Her Majesty's service, because the ambition was to take the entire world. And you needed very docile, honest, hard-working people who will never rebel, who don't have bloodthirstiness in them, who are very calm, who will never organize revolutions or anything. They will just do their work. You put them in slavery, they will think this is their karma and they will just do that also well. When they saw this attitude, they thought of all the nations they had colonized at that time. India looked like an ideal place to educate and make sure this whole enterprise of what do you call this? This whole enterprise of imperialism will be staffed by Indians, and it was. Even a large part of British army, both in World War I and World War II, was Indian soldiers who fought for 50 paisa a day. Do you understand? They did not even give them shoes. They were just wearing sandals, Indian Jodhpuris, and they were in the trenches in France, and nearly some 150,000 men lost their toes and their feet because they were in ice-cold temperatures with no shoes. So they found, in spite of that, they fought with minimal food because they were told to fight, because this thing is there in India. If you take something from somebody, the present-day Indians may be losing it, but generally, traditionally, it is called as, I have eaten something from you, that means I'll always do the best for you. Suppose you give me one day's food, that's it. Only one day you fed me in my life, I'll always remember that and always serve you in the best possible way for that one thing. So this is called namak, that I've eaten the salt from your hands. Because this comes from the understanding of Runanubandha, if I've taken salt from your hands, that means we are one. So they use this in a big way and educated Indians the way it is necessary to fill all the clerical and accounting posts across the world, which they fulfill pretty well. But in this education process, the most important thing is obedience, not intelligence, not ingenuity, not unfolding of individual genius. It is obedience. You must obey, otherwise you'll be punished. This was brought in. Maybe in the current generation, according to the Indian laws, you can't beat a child in the school, but when we were growing up, why should I tell you all this? I don't think… almost every day, I never came home without being beaten for something. Like this, sometimes they get cruel like this on the knuckles, tamal. So I went there only when it was absolutely necessary, because what are they trying to do? So, this education system mildly was transformed in 50s and 60s, a little bit of change, but didn't have the courage to shift it totally, because changing a whole system can lead to collapse.